It's been a very interesting week for me, starting with, of course, the announcement last Friday that Twitter would have its own clients on mobile and competing directly with us in the ecosystem. Continuing with Mike Harrington, who posted this post where I was in denial and awesome pictures of a situation with a tsunami called Twitter going to arrive on us on a little thing on the on the ecosystem, and emails from friends and partners, sorry about the situation. I mean, literally, I had people yesterday at Chirp, reporters coming and saying how sorry they were for me. They looked like I had lost someone in my family. I mean, that's been annoying. And it's been heavy, let's say. And we had an interesting beginning of the day at Chirp Twitter conference yesterday morning, where the room was kind of cold from the developer's point of view. You could one proof of that is when Ryan Sarver, head of platform at Twitter, said one of his objectives was developer happiness, and he said, "Are you happy in the morning?" And very few people actually moved and reacted and answered, and that was like the atmosphere in the morning, quite cold, I would say. Now, if you ask me how I feel now, I think Twitter rocks, and I think trust is back, and I have absolutely no more doubts that the investments will keep coming in the real-time web, and the developers will keep having great opportunities and growing very fast. Here is why. The first, Evan, Bees, Dick, Ryan, and the entire Twitter team have been very reassuring and answered in a very straight way, moderated by a very funny friend, Chris Sacca, of course, as always, answering the developer questions without trying to avoid the tough questions. And of course not disclosing the entire Twitter roadmap, which we didn't expect anyway, but reassuring us in the fact that one, all the APIs will remain open. Two, something even better is that they are planning to have even their own Twitter.com run off a public API, such as m.twitter.com, which is great because that means we will have the same tools, and it's fine to compete with them. We had our highest number of tweets posted yesterday on Seismic Web, which kind of is probably a sign for us. But so I'm very reassured by that and their attitude, and you know what? They rock. And people who have put this in doubt are wrong. Guy Kawasaki has a great post about what developers should do, and angry developers should just shut up. I think they've already done that and work, and that's the truth. Now the challenges are there. There are bad news yesterday, more bad news. They will have their own Android client and on Twitter, and we have one which is very popular, Seismic for Android. So I'm expecting direct competition from Twitter in a few days, weeks, I don't know, and I'm getting ready for that. So obviously what we're doing is we're going to kick ass on Twitter and keep a great experience, but we will also differentiate, of course, from the Android Twitter client, and we will have more services in there, and we will have that multi-platform strategy where I joked, and I think it's kind of a good description, is we want to be the Switzerland of social networking, where you go to share everywhere, receive your updates and comments from anywhere, and that's what Seismic is going to be and is already starting to be. We're actually shipping our platform today, Seismic Desktop, with the plugins. We're shipping the SDK, so for developers who want to be in our launch partners, we have a lot of interest already, and it's shipping in a few hours. As I speak, they're getting the launch ready of the SDK. So if you want to integrate your service in Seismic, it's becoming possible today. And this is reinforced actually by the news, because developers understand that they need to be more independent, let's say, and rely on less filling holes, what a nice word, than they have been. And of course it applies to us, and that's how we work. So I think the investors will be there, have been there, and Ron Conway, who is a trendsetter, very respected in Silicon Valley. Like there is a joke that if you have launched a startup and Ron Conway is not in the equity, there is some kind of something wrong. But Ron has said he will invest even more in the space, and of course many people will follow him. And I agree. I actually had many contacts with VCs yesterday, even though we're not raising funds. So the net is this was a communication issue. This was bad timing. The way it was communicated, even more than bad timing, the way it was communicated was bad. Let's not come back to the past, but I just want to say, Twitter, you rock. And I have trust in what you're going to do, and I have trust in the opportunities for us, Sysmic, and for the developers as a whole. Yet, of course, I will be very cautious in not relying only on Twitter. That's what we've been trying to do, and I predict more and more developers will do so, which I don't think will hurt Twitter. But it's probably a good move as an entrepreneur also to probably change your name if you have a tweet something in your name. That might not be the best idea. Anyway, I'm going now to the Chirp Hack Day and looking forward to see you all there. But naysayers, you should shut up. This is wrong. It's gonna rock. And Twitter is going to be even more huge.